What if you walked into a courtroom, convinced you were the victim, and walked out realizing the only thing you brought was a story? What if you tried to hand the judge statements, emails, reports, anything, and the law kept saying the same word, hearsay? What if every time you tried to introduce evidence, the judge stopped you cold? The petitioner: I don't understand what that means. I'm sorry. The court: that would be hearsay. The petitioner: so now you're telling me these statements are inadmissible? The court: correct. The petitioner: okay. She wasn't confused, she was unprepared. She tried again. The petitioner: are emails from law enforcement? Are those inadmissible as well? The court: if they're being offered for their truth, yes. She tried to read a police report. The court: you cannot read a report into the record. She tried to submit her husband's statement. The court: that would be hearsay. She tried to submit a neighbor's account. The court: hearsay. She tried to submit the same police email again. The court: still hearsay. And then she cracked. The petitioner: I feel like the justice system has failed me. The system hadn't failed, it had simply asked her to follow the rules. Rules she never bothered to learn. And the evidence she did have, the only evidence that actually existed, was something the law has been clear about for decades. Taking photographs of a building from a public roadway is legal. Taking photographs from a public alley is legal. Taking photographs of anything visible from a public vantage point is legal. And more devastating than that, nothing she described was following. Nothing she described was pursuit. Nothing she described was contact. Nothing she described was stalking. Not one witness, not one, ever testified that Reed followed her. Her own words confirmed it. The petitioner: he didn't threaten me. He never contacted me. He never approached me. He didn't message me. This isn't the story she thought she was telling. This is the story the transcript tells. The story where the courtroom didn't expose Reed Hyken. It exposed her misunderstandings, her exaggerations, her misuse of the system. In this time when she tried to weaponize the court, this court pushed back. The collapse begins. Act 1. The judge calls the case. Kelly stands alone at counsel table, vibrating with adrenaline, not confidence. He gives her the floor. She launches into a narrative he believes is airtight. After installing cameras, 7 consecutive incidents occurred in which Mr. Hyken would come through the alley, stop, take photos, and slowly roll through. She tries to hand the court a stack of statements, the backbone of her story. The judge doesn't even touch them. That would be hearsay. She freezes. I don't understand what that means. I'm sorry. But she does understand. She just doesn't have anything else. This isn't evidence. This is theater. Act 2. The witnesses who couldn't save her. David Adamini, the first witness. He takes a stand at 10:09 a.m. Kelly tries to script him. Did you fear for my safety? He obliges, vaguely. But under cross-examination, the truth surfaces. I couldn't say exactly what Mr. Hyken said. Maybe we could play the tape? He doesn't remember. He can't support her narrative. He's excused at 10:15 a.m. Cheryl Corbiere, the second witness. She's sworn in at 10:15 a.m. Kelly tries to use her to prove a confrontation. Corbiere tries. There was a confrontation between Mr. Hyken. Graham, the defense legal counsel. Objection. The court. Did your eyes see what the video camera was showing? The witness. No. Her confrontation evaporates. Kelly pivots to emotion. Did you notice if I was upset? Corbiere. Yes, very upset. But emotion isn't evidence. When Kelly tries to turn it into fear. At that time, did you fear for my safety? Graham. Objection. Foundation. The court. Sustained. Kelly tries again. Again, she fails. Corbiere is excused at 10:23 a.m. Judy Lacoste, the third witness. She describes Kelly shaking at meetings. Her whole body would be shaking. She describes Reed sitting near the podium. He'd give you daggers. She tries to add, he likes to intimidate you. Graham. Objection. The court. Sustained. Cross-examination destroys the drama. Did he move when the sheriff asked him to? Eventually. Was he taken into custody? No. She's excused at 10:31 a.m. Act 3. Whitney Maloney. The turning point. Whitney was supposed to be the witness who sealed the deal. Instead, she detonated Kelly's case. She testifies. He uses the word enemy in this video in reference to Miss Van Ginhoven. She plays the clip. Then Graham asks the only question that matters. You became aware that Mr. Hyken believed that Miss Van Ginhoven did not live in District 4, correct? Whitney tries to dodge. I didn't really know anything about Mr. Hyken's questioning of Miss Van Ginhoven's residency until probably that video. And with that, she confirms the truth. Reed wasn't stalking. Reed wasn't following. Reed wasn't obsessed. Reed was investigating a residency controversy, a legitimate political issue. Whitney is excused at 10:40 a.m. Act 4. The exhibits. Kelly tries again. Am I allowed to submit his social media post that caused me fear? The judge allows it, if she can authenticate them. She can. Okay, what do I do with them? She launches into a speech instead of foundation. He referred to me as a cupcake, wicked witch of the West, flying monkeys, Coven leader. Insults aren't stalking, they're protected speech. The judge forces her back to basics. How do you know these came from him? It says, posted by Reed Hyken. Then she introduces letters to the editor. He states, I throw temper tantrums. Poor loser, stamping off the field crying. Claims I'm in a fit of rage. Says I'm like a burglar in the night. The judge admits them, but they prove nothing except political animosity. Act 5. The final collapse. Her last attempt. So I'm not allowed, I'm just not allowed to do signed statements from anyone? Is that correct? That is correct. She tries to find a loophole. Can they be offered for anything else besides? The judge cuts her off. If they're not offered for their truth, what would they be offered for? She panics. I'm just teasing. She isn't teasing. She's out of ammunition. Act 6. The ruling. The judge returns at 11:03 a.m. He recites the facts. The respondent admitted he was taking photos for the purpose of reporting Miss Van Ginhoven to the police for violating the residency law requirement. Then the line that ends everything. That is proper purpose. He denies the PPO. The real story? Kelly didn't lose because the judge was cold. She lost because she didn't understand evidence. She didn't understand hearsay. She didn't understand foundation. She didn't understand authentication. She didn't understand relevance. She didn't understand the burden of proof. She contradicted herself. Her witnesses contradicted her. Whitney accidentally proved Reed's innocence. And nothing, absolutely nothing, ever showed Reed followed her. Reed didn't walk out victorious. He walked out vindicated, because the truth was never on her side. This is Delta Deep Dive. Part 4 is next.